I am Gary Bruno. I'm the president and CEO of GL Bruno Associates. We are a development firm that does nothing but medical projects. We have been honored to have built a cancer center for Stanford, 2 cancer centers for Kaiser, 3 cancer centers for other people. But I must say that I have never been as honored to have worked with any group as I am to have had the opportunity to work with City of Hope and with Antelope Valley. It's been a long process, but it has been worth every single moment of it. So I'm going to depart from the script here. I'm supposed to introduce the VIPs, but this is really not about the VIPs. In our industry, this is about the craftsmen. This is about the workers who have created what you see there. So I wonder if I think a lot of them thought, hey, this is great, I'm getting out of here early today. But for those of you who are here, I would like this crowd to give them a hearty round of applause. Okay, they're going to ask for pay raises if you do too much more, so that's enough. Now I am supposed to acknowledge the VIPs, and actually I think because Ed Merzerbegian is the local guy here, I'm going to just defer that and ask Ed to. This project is near and dear to his heart. He's put his heart and soul in it, and I'm going to just ask Ed to make those introductions. So I'm going to stick with what we do. I'm going to tell you about the topping off ceremony. It goes back thousands of years to what we think was ancient Scandinavia, and it was a pagan ritual where they would have to cut trees down to build buildings, and in their faith, when they cut a tree down, they displaced a spirit. So they would put a tree on the last structural beam to go in place to placate the spirits of their ancestors. So this is throughout many Western countries now, and I think it's a wonderful way to finish the first stage of a project. So you will see our baby Christmas tree and, of course, the American flag, which I personally have been honored to serve in the Marine Corps in honor of. So that's a topping off ceremony. At the end, for those of you who have not signed, we're going to ask you to affix your signature to the beam, and don't go now if you haven't already signed it. That makes you, each and every one of you, a permanent part of this building. And this building is going, and all the good that's going to happen in this building, you will be a part of it. And everybody here is here because of the value that you have created in this community and this project. Okay, just a little bit about the project itself. It's about 56,000 square feet, obviously anchored by Antelope Valley District Hospital and City of Hope. I think as important as that, it has state-of-the-art oncological treatments. It has all of that, but it also has employed or will employ over the course over 250 people. I would say 50 to 60% of those people being local. So we take great pride in bringing value to the communities that we work in.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is another great milestone that we are embarking on, and I'm very happy about it. And but before we talk a little bit about that, I want to introduce some of the honoraries here. I want to start with our Senator, Steve Knight. I think our state assemblyman couldn't be here, but there is a representative from Steve Fox's office. Thank you. And then we want to introduce Norm Hinckley, Supervisor Antonovich's office. And then also representatives from Antelope Valley Chamber of Commerce. Vicky Medina from AV Board of Trade. Kimberly Melvos from Greater Antelope Valley Economics. And then finally, our leadership, I want to introduce Dr. Fruch, our chairman of the board. Dr. Prazo, our board member. our ex-board member, Dr. John Manning. In general, I want to thank the entire staff of City of Hope Medical Center and their foundation, which Dr. Levin is going to talk a little bit later on. And I make sure that a group of you are here. I want to thank you for everything we have done together, and we continue this cooperation and work together in the future. Thank you. Definitely, I want to thank GL Bruno. He's very, not only a very talented gentleman, but he's very good friend. He was introduced to me by City of Hope Medical Foundation. As he mentioned, his specialty is to build cancer centers, and so we are in good hands. And hopefully, as you see, I told my staff that he's going to finish this building before our parking lot is open. So it's just another sign of private work versus public work. So God help us. Every plan starts with a vision, and then it becomes planning, and then becomes fighting, and then finally, after all the fights are done, it starts implementation. And we have passed all that. This was a vision of my board and myself to have a great center here that is going to really produce and take care of people with the particular diseases that we will never ever could take care of, and that is City of Hope Medical Center. So they are the national state-of-the-art center for this kind of disorders, and we are very, very pleased and lucky to have them on in our campus. So this particular center couldn't have really accomplished without their help and also their cooperation and their work with the Antelope Valley Hospital. This place will be a destination for the valley in the next 20 years, and hopefully more than that. I would like to appreciate the entire staff of Antelope Valley and people around me that helped me to accomplish what I have done, and hopefully we continue these next 20 years. At this point, I would like to introduce Dr. Harlan Levin, Chief Executive Officer of City of Hope Medical Foundation, to come up and say a couple of words.
Good morning, everybody. At City of Hope, our mission is to transform health. We want to provide exquisite and compassionate care, but we also want to bring innovative research and turn that science into practical benefit for our communities. And we're aiming to bring hope here and make it a reality for patients and their families. I'm relatively new to City of Hope, but I'm so appreciative to have this opportunity, because building this cancer center exemplifies the reason why I came to City of Hope. And on behalf of City of Hope, I want to thank our partners, our wonderful partners, to make this such a fulfilling project along the way. So there have been fights, I'm sure, but in the few months I've been here, I've only gotten to enjoy the good parts of this. This mission that we have, this deep commitment to compassion, is what holds us as City of Hope together. It ties together our 100-year history, from the time that we were a fledgling tuberculosis sanatorium in 1913 to being a world-renowned cancer center in 2013. The compassion for people and their families has been the common thread that has tied us together. But we recognize that it's not enough just to serve the San Gabriel Valley. And we need to reach out to people beyond those who have the health and the resources to travel to our campus in Duarte. So we are so excited to be here in Lancaster to bring hope and healing to more patients and more families in new communities. And we're so delighted to be able to partner with Antelope Valley Hospital, which is already such a pillar of healthcare in the community. As you all know, this is a time of tremendous change in healthcare. You've heard about healthcare reform now for several years, and it's a reality that's going to be with us. And while healthcare reform guarantees everyone access to health benefits, it's something that it can't do on its own. It can't guarantee access to quality, state-of-the-art healthcare. And this is what this cancer center will be able to do for the Lancaster community. We know that facing cancer is a time of immeasurable turmoil and heartache for the individual and for the family. And we believe that people of Antelope Valley deserved access to the best health care, the most compassionate health care, and the most accessible health care. And that's why we've chosen to partner with Antelope Valley Hospital. So what does our brand of cancer look like? It starts by care that is underpinned by a deep commitment to the individual, to the patient, but an understanding that that patient is part of a family unit. It also means top-notch health care, bringing the latest in science, the latest in advanced techniques and treatments, and delivered by people, by clinicians who are expert in their field. And typically, this is only found in academic centers, and we're delighted to have an opportunity to bring it to the community. Today, when people in the Antelope Valley are confronted by cancer, more than half feel that they need to leave the area to seek their care. And we know that does not have to happen. We know that's not easy for patients. We know that's not easy for families. And again, we are delighted to bring world-class academic health care into a new community. So, as you heard earlier from Ed, this took vision. And we so appreciate and are deeply humbled by the vision that Antelope Valley had. But we needed visionaries at City of Hope too. And in large part, this was driven by a physician of City of Hope who has been in this community for many years, Dr. Benjamin Paz. And he's not able to be here today, fittingly, because he's operating. But we want to express our deep appreciation to his vision many years ago when he felt it was an opportunity to bring world-class care to the Antelope Valley. Well, with that, I want to turn it over to another significant driver of this vision and a long-standing physician in this community who is our medical director over our community practices, Dr. Vijay Trisal.
Thank you very much, Harlan. Thank you for coming here today. You know, what I had to say has already been said, and I don't want to belabor and repeat all of the pillars that City of Hope has been built on. But I can tell a couple of things. One is that this is not just a building, this is a place of healing. And you can ask all the administrators and the physicians, you can ask all the patients who are the most critical aspect of this, they'll tell you that buildings don't matter. It is the places of healing that people feel that they can get to the point where this disease, which is a devastating disease, is left behind. And one of the best things that I tell my patients when they are done with the follow-up care is, I hope I don't see you again. And I think that is very fitting. And when you look at places of healing, City of Hope has been a core player in making the places of healing. As Harlan mentioned, we started as a tuberculosis sanatorium, because at that time, tuberculosis was a scourge. Tuberculosis was a disease that killed, and people were shunned away from downtown LA, and we had made the sanatorium at the foothills of the mountains, San Gabriel Mountains, to basically be away from it all so that we could deliver care. And that was the need of that hour. And then over the last few decades, we have realized that the need of the hour was hematological malignancies, that cancer was becoming a bigger scourge. We got control of tuberculosis, our diabetes and cancer care were becoming more prime. City of Hope became the leader, if not one of the biggest leaders in bone marrow transplantations, and has done more than 11,000 bone marrow transplantations now, the largest in this country. The next step that we see is the need of the hour is the cancer care. And City of Hope has made this commitment to deliver cancer care that makes impact. And we can't do that from Duarte. We can't impact cancer care from Duarte. What we have realized, and what Ben Paz, my partner, realized very early on, that more than 80% of cancer care is delivered in the community. And we have to have any impact on changing outcomes, on improving outcomes, on making this disease a less burden for the families. We have to take Duarte to the community, not expect people to come down to the community. And I think this is the first step in that. What we also realize is that we cannot succeed if we act like cowboys and say, this is what we're going to build, and we don't partner with the community. I think that is where early on Antelope Valley Hospital also realized that to bring that compassion, to bring that quality of medical research, and to bring that quality of education to the community, need to partner with people who have done this before, who are prime in getting this to a point where it makes an impact and has all the pillars of social work, the pillars of community, the pillars of education, the pillars of research. In the end, it matters when the rubber meets the road. And what does it really mean to patients who are battling lung cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer, and a myriad of other cancers? It means the following. It means that no longer do you have to drive hundreds of miles to make sure that you're getting quality care. And sometimes there's a skepticism as to what the quality of the people that is delivering care is. And I think that is ascertained by an institution like City of Hope. The second thing it matters is that you don't have to develop new relationships with patients. When I see patients from Bishop at City of Hope, and I know they go to a lot of other institutions, they don't have their primary care doctor with them. They don't have the pulmonologist. They don't have the cardiologist. And they have to develop new relationships with physicians who are very critical at this point when multiple comorbidities need to be managed by their doctors. And they can be managed by new physicians who don't have relationships with them. I think the third important thing is the technological and minimally invasive involvement that both Antelope Valley and City of Hope has kind of embraced together. The machine that will be put up there for radiation will be the machine that really differentiates between normal tissue and tumor. So whenever we do radiation, we, in the past, were just doing this buckshot, a global radiation to the whole area. Now that has become much, much improved, much, much refined, but the latest technology has such sharp shooting techniques that it can really differentiate, this is where the spinal cord is, and we need to stay away from that, but the tumor that is very close to it needs to get the whole radiation. And I think that's what the technology will do. What Antelope Valley very early on did was invest in a robot at a time when really finances are an issue and competition in the valley is an issue. And what that does is provide operative intervention with minimal scars, with improved pain, with improved length of stay in the hospital. And I think that is the other aspect that helps a lot. But the other thing that City of Hope brings is the clinical research. So when you look at how drug development happens, how insulin or drugs like Herceptin were made, they were made from this soil that started at City of Hope. And when you look at how those drugs get to the community, get to standard of care, it takes years and years for their development. We have clinical trials right now that are running in our affiliates, in our hospitals, that will come to the fore many, many years later. And I think this center will allow that to happen much early on. And that is what I'm proud about. And Antelope Valley really has taken a lead in this. They have realized this early. Antelope Valley Cancer Center and Dr. Shah's group has provided care to this community for more than 30 years. But demographics are changing, the way cancer care grows are changing, and I think the future is that you need to have a stable platform and a big institution to take care of that. In the end, when you look at the board on this, it will say City of Hope, Antelope Valley. And what I realize is that we, City of Hope, we the physicians, are just the caretakers of this cancer center. It does not belong to City of Hope, does not belong to Antelope Valley. It really belongs to the community and to the patients that have shown true grit in fighting this disease, this devastating disease, and really gone through the chemotherapy, the radiation therapy. And to that end, I don't want to belabor this. I would really appreciate it. We have a few patients in the audience who really have gone through this, know what it is, and really remind us what this is all about. I would like them to stand up, please, and acknowledge that this is really for the patients that we have been taking care of. Please. With that note, thank you very much, and I really appreciate to be here, and it's an honor.
I guess good noon. I'm always honored to be among friends and people I've known for years. And I have to tell you, the journey at AV Hospital has been magnificent. When I came here in 1982, I was invited by Dr. Bergner to come over to the Valley. Pat Cilio, some of you may know him, picked me up from the airport. It was the only car coming up the 14. And I told Harvey, what are you doing here? Harvey since retired. And AV Hospital was a small institution. We didn't even have radiologists. I had to do my own x-rays. I had to do my own angiograms. We didn't really have support systems. So over the years, leadership at AV started to understand we need to develop systems. And we need to bring expertise into the Valley. And we've seen growth going up over the years. Now, over the past 6 years or so, we've seen the biggest growth as far as programs concerned. We had a very good leadership which sat in the body of Edward Mizrabajian, our CEO. He brought a new vision to help the board develop systems in the community. We've had a trauma program before, failed. We had to close it down. We had a pediatric program that worked very well. But we needed somebody to understand the systems and bring support to physicians who are practicing in this community and bring expertise. So we worked with Ed, and we really established the trauma program, which is a very significant to improve trauma care by creating a system and bringing experts in trauma. We did the same in similar area. We're looking at pediatrics as well, partnershiping with Loma Linda Hospital, which have expertise in intensive care with children. With the robotics, specifically in the area of urology, we found that partnering with urology at USC bring expertise of a department that has 60 top-notch urologists. Now they're part of our community. Cancer is a bad word. I can imagine my patient when I talk to him and says, I look at him and say, you have a brain tumor. And I have to tell him, nobody today, if you have a glioblastoma multiforme, can save your life. You're gonna die. In the past, when people heard the word cancer, means it's a death sentence. My uncle died from chronic myelogenous leukemia at the age of 43. Today, we can extend survival significantly for chronic myelogenous leukemia. Science has expanded despite our government attempt to reduce research and try to fight a very vibrant industry. The United States remains the leading country as far as patents, research, and investments. Not in Europe, not in Russia, not in China. Investments in research and science vis-a-vis cancer is the highest in the United States. And City of Hope is one of the leaders. But City of Hope as an institution is one thing, but the working people at City of Hope are different. So start with Benjamin Paz when I got to know Benjamin. Now, again, to know an individual, to find out how dedicated that individual is for patient care, even for a patient he doesn't know. And start with a simple process of behavior. Give you an example. One of the issues tell me who's Benjamin Paz and who is his partners, why it's very important to partner with people like that. We had a patient that had eating flesh bacteria that eats the flesh. Everybody hears about that. You get that disease, you're going to die. Patient came in and had this problem process in her thoracic spine and her chest wall. Nobody wanted to do anything because say, this patient's not going to survive, I'm going to take the patient to surgery, she's going to die. Or a family called me, says we cannot leave this patient in the ER to die. So I went down, I talked to so many physicians, everybody was afraid. We don't have any experience with this. And Benjamin says he didn't have much experience with it. But we had to do something new. So I talked to him, I said, look, Benjamin, I'm going to take the patient to surgery, and I expect you to be here. He was a City of Hope. Guess what? Middle of the night, he drove from City of Hope, came over, and helped me and guided me in the chest area, because it's not my expertise, and we saved the patient. That dedication for Benjamin Paz to say, I'm going to venture in the middle of the night, patients I don't know, come help you out, help the community, is the kind of things we're looking for. Then I know Dr. Trussell, and I worked with him. He even showed better dedication. So it's not about the building. It's not about, although Bruno did a fantastic job.
I paid him to say that.
I'm really impressed how fast this thing is going.
Thank you.
I'm very happy. But again, still Dr. Trussell lives 35 miles away from here. And I know where Benjamin lives. He lives in La Cañada, same street where my uncle lived. But I want him eventually to come live here. And I'm hoping that by having a partnership with City of Hope, we're going to bring men with dedication, commitment to our community, and make this place their home so they can help us take care of patients with disastrous news and make their life better. Thank you very much.
At this point, I want to recognize a very special guest we have today. As you know, as part of our business is philanthropy. Today, I'm honored to introduce Archer family. Could you please stand up? Archer family so far, without even seeing what's going on inside there, has donated over $30,000 for this event. Thank you. As that part, I also want to thank our chairman of foundation, Johnny Zamerzella. Where are you, Johnny? Thank you very much. And I hope we have some of our foundation board members, Nadia here. Who else is here? Hank Marvin, yes. Hank, could you stand up if you could? Mr. Marvin has been one of the pillars of this community, and we are very, very pleased to have him in our foundation board for the next 30 years. Thank you.
We've talked about the project. We've had honored guests speak. I would like now to just depart again because I don't follow scripts very well. to introduce the people, the brains behind this, not the concept, but the people who made it happen. I'd like to start with my staff. Jim, our General Superintendent. Raise your hand, please, Jim. Leo, our Project Manager. You've done a great job. Mike, our VP of Construction. Mike. And Todd, our VP of Development. And also we have two architects here, Katie and Rosendo from HGA, Hamel-Green Abramson. Thank you very much. And in today's environment, we often hear about the evil bankers. And I want to tell you that this project was very difficult to get funded. It's a very expensive project, and it's in a tertiary care area. So most banks, to include, frankly, your local banks, said, we're not touching it. U.S. Bank, one of the most conservative banks in the nation, but a bank that believes in people, came to the fore and actually offered us better terms than we had even asked for, because they believe in what we're doing. So we have two gentlemen here from U.S. Bank. Would you please raise your hands? Thank you, Wayne, for your trust in us, and we sincerely appreciate and look forward to a long, long relationship. So at this point, did anybody else have anything to say? Anybody want anything to say? Okay, I'd like to invite the VIPs, I guess you're VIPs, to join me at the beam. We're going to sign it. Any patients who have not yet signed the beam, please join us. And anybody else who has not signed the beam, please join us. And then we're going to hoist the beam into place.